Hey! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Well, my name is Jeremy, aka, well, come on! It's your boy, IPG, Red, Purple, Gold. Now, before we get into the brand new episode today, and you guys, I am just insanely excited to let you guys know and to bring you this information. But before we get into the brand new episode today, I just wanted to take this time to remind you to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure and just take a couple of seconds, like the video, give it that thumbs up. And also, make sure right down there below us in that comment section, leave any comments that you might like, because it's definitely the best way to be able to get that dialogue started back and forth. And of course, as I always say, and I know you remember, ding ding, ding ding, make sure and hit that notification bell, become part of the bell gang, so that each time that I put up a brand new piece of content, you'll be the first to be notified, and you can be able to take that in whenever you would like. Well, you guys, I am so excited about this information tonight and this brand new video on my ongoing series, Above the Hype. Guys, I am so freaking hyped right now. It is amazing. I have some incredible news to tell you. I'm so excited, so let's just get right into it. So, as you guys know, or maybe I have talked about it a time or two here on the channel, but when I first was releasing my very first album, Rooftops and Skylines, I had actually had another friend of mine who was also in a band at the time help me set up and figure out all of my distribution when it came to the website that I use for, you know, oh, an album is done or a new single or whatever. Upload it to there, and then they are the one that distributes it to all of the different platforms that you're able to go and check out all of my albums on right now. Both of them are live in the wild, but the website that I use is called DistroKid. And now, obviously, I'm sure that all of the different distribution websites are able to track and follow, you know, all of the different platforms that they are, you know, distributing the music onto, and how many total album sales and how many total streams. And they're also able to break it down by, here's the number of streams off Google Play, here's the number of streams off Spotify, off iTunes, you know, all the different platforms, they're able to give you that information. Well, when I released the first album, Rooftops and Skylines, I had set up all of my information with DistroKid to be the main place that I go to when I'm uploading my music to then send it to everywhere else. So, one of the things that it does, like I was just talking about, is it tracks your total album sales. It also tracks all the individual streams that you're getting, and per platforms, which ones are performing the best or which ones could you make improvements upon. And so in doing that, obviously I like to check it periodically just to see where things are at, you know, where I am showing the most headway, where I can be able to work on and make improvements to, or try and maybe make a larger marketing push to some of those different platforms to try and raise those numbers up. And when I was taking a look at the first album, comparatively now to my most recent album, Break the Chain, which actually just released back in February, on February 1st, 2019. So you guys, if you haven't had a chance to check out that album, or my first album, Rooftops and Skylines, I definitely recommend that you go and do so. You can be able to find that on any of the major platforms, all the big ones, all the small ones, you know how I like to say it, but things like iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, you know, Pandora, Deezer, a ton more, but those are just some of the big names that you guys would definitely recognize. Amazon as well is another big name that's recognizable. But I was just a couple weeks ago checking my account just to see, I want to take a better look at how my last album did comparatively to how well my album is doing now, and just see what those differences were. because another piece of background information that I don't know if I've talked about, but when I released the second album, when I was putting out Break the Chain, I had done a huge showcase and feature on Ryan Bronson a couple months before that, right when he had released his brand new album, Illuminate. And so when I was actually releasing my first album, my second album, when I was releasing Break the Chain, Ryan had actually reached out to me and said, hey, I have a Spotify playlist, would you like to purchase it? And I said, absolutely, yes. And so when I was taking a look at the first album to the second album, I think when I saw the total amount of like album sales was somewhere like 8 to 10, and then streams were, somewhere to like 3 to 350, somewhere around there, and I was like, okay, I don't know if that's, at least from the stream side, I don't know if that's good or terrible or, somewhere in the middle, what end of the spectrum that's on in just a general way for a new artist like myself. And so after that, I was taking a look at my new album, Break the Chain, to see how that one was performing. And that one, and like I said, this was probably about 3-4 weeks ago, and I was blown away. So during this time, and if you've seen some of my videos, and also if you're following along on my Facebook page for my Artist RPG page, each time I put up a brand new video, I'll post it there. Each time I, get a new song placed on a Spotify playlist, I'll place it there as well. Well, I've been contacting and reaching out to these Spotify contacts and trying to get my music placed on their more national playlists. And so I was taking a look at DistroKid at my website to see how I was performing with Break the Chain comparatively to Rooftops and Skylines. And again, like I said, my mind just exploded right there on the spot. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting at almost 5,000 streams at that time, so about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and I was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. And I'd only at that time, and still as of right now, I've only had and been placed on 2 Spotify playlists. One, the first playlist that I got put on, I had put on one of my songs, Strength Like a Stag, and then the second playlist I put on So Soft, featuring JC Cagle, and both of those are on the brand new album, Break the Chain. And then on that first playlist that I was placed on, I'm actually able to just each month upload a new song. And so the second one that I did, I just put back on So Soft, featuring JC Cagle as well on that one, just to be able to say, okay, I think that, X, Y, and Z are sort of my top 3 or 4 songs from that album, and so I wanted to be able to showcase each one. Well, right before the taping of this video, I just checked again, just to see where I was at, and again, my mind basically is just plastered all over the wall. Right now, at this moment, I am currently sitting at 9,330 streams from just those 3 songs being placed on those Spotify playlists, or at least 98% of all of the streams that I have the majority of them are on Spotify. But, you guys, I cannot believe it. And when I was taking a look at my growth over the last 3 or 4 weeks, probably by Friday, maybe Saturday, I am going to cross the 10,000 stream mark. You guys, I cannot believe this. I'm so excited that just to think about that 10,000 people have, or maybe not 10,000 people, but 10,000 times, one of those 2 songs has been streamed on Spotify to give me a total number of 9,330 total streams. And it just blows my mind. And to think that my first album had like 300 to 350, and now I'm about to pass the 10,000 mark, and I've only been placed on 2 playlists, it just blows my mind. And I just have to give a massive, huge shout out and just a big thank you to Ryan Bronson for, you know, just giving me that ability to gain that really next step from what I was able to accomplish from my first album, Rooftops and Skylines, to my second album, Break the Chain. Now, even though my general album sales haven't raised up as much maybe as I would like personally from an individual standpoint, and just kind of understanding the level of how much more marketing and how much more of a push I made on this album. However, regardless of the fact, 330 streams, 9,330 streams. I mean, that is an insane increase from one album to the next. And of course, now, let me give you some context. Let me give you a reference point to just kind of let you understand a little bit better me comparatively to another artist, a much more well-known artist. And I just saw this information just about a week or so ago, so it's pretty current as well. So if you guys remember, there was an artist, now he's not maybe as crazy popular as he was 3 or 4 years ago, but Kid Ink had just, within the last like 6 months, maybe a little bit less, but around that time frame, had just put out a new mixtape. And I just saw a post from him on Facebook saying that he had just crossed 10 million streams on his brand new mixtape that he had just released. So obviously that just gives you some context for somebody that is a much more well-known artist who has been a massive player in the game at different times. Just kind of gives you some context comparatively, him to me. Almost 10,000, just past 10 million. However though, I am a brand new artist, still definitely local, so it still just lets me know that I've raised up to a whole new level, even if comparatively I still have a long way to go to be at that same level as somebody like Kid Ink. But for me as an individual, I also completely understand that. So it's just incredible to just see that jump. And I had just been putting out some different contacts and reaching out to some more people from the playlist that I got. And I already had 2 more playlists get back to me today interested in also showcasing my songs as well. So that could also be increasing even more so and much more exponentially within the next couple weeks. So I'm really excited about that as well. But once those get placed specifically, you'll definitely see those go up on my social media sites as well to show, hey, boom, I am making headway and really reaching a next level with this album. And, guys, I just want to thank each and every one of you so much for all of the love and all of the support, for everything that you do, for following me in all of these videos, and just me as RPG Red, Purple, Gold as the artist. It just means so much. And to know that I've now pushed myself up to that next rung on the ladder, and to see 300 to 350 total streams from album 1 to now within the next couple days surpassing 10,000 just absolutely blows my mind. And on the same token as that, it also makes me realize, hey, look at how much more that you can do, how much more you have if you want to put somebody like Kid Ink as the benchmark for where you possibly could get to. So I know that I still have a lot more that I could do, but to see the improvement from one album to the next, it's just absolutely amazing. And largely in part to each and every one of you for constantly rolling with me, just absolutely being part of the team, and just giving me that constant support to want to keep pushing myself to get to that next level. So that is a huge shout out and thank you, and I love each and every one of you for all of that support that you show to me. So you guys, I just wanted to be able to come and give you this really quick piece of information about I'm blown away. I mean, I just can't believe it of how much improvement from the first album to the second album, not just specifically in the amount of streams, but just in everything, from the sound, from the music. But if you're just talking about a numbers game, That is massive, and that's a huge improvement. And part of that is thanks to each and every one of you. But you guys, I just wanted to come and give you that really quick piece of information. So before I come with the next episode, you know what to do. Keep it locked right here on the channel with your boy, IPG, Red, Purple, Gold. So until that next episode, peace.